You suck. You'll never be good at this fucking game. Which, if you're feeling that way, it's totally understandable because I feel the same way about myself. What's going on, guys? Disco Wonderland here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little that's special to me. Something that's important to me. Not only important to me, but important. I feel like it's important to a lot of players who play not only DBFZ, but fighting games in general. And that's the topic of just being average. Today I want to talk about 5 reasons why most DBFZ players are average. Now, am I a top player by any means? No. So would that make me the most qualified to speak on the subject? Probably not. But where I am qualified to speak on the subject is the fact that I've been struggling as an average player in almost every fighting game I ever played. And I can tell you from experience, it's probably one of the most difficult things to do, you know, break that ceiling and reaching that upper echelon of higher level play. I'm with you, you know, you may suck, but I suck too. And I want to help. Not only help you, but help myself. Like, this is like a therapeutic session for me too. So guys, real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I just want to say, I don't have all the answers. These are only just 5 observations that I've seen from watching a lot of other people play. So if you feel like you have better reasons, or if you feel like you have your own points that you want to discuss, feel free to do so in the comment section below. I would love to hear your feedback and your input on why most players are average. And also, if you want, feel free to add your own personal experiences, some things that you did to help yourself learn and improve as a player. With that being said, let's get into the video. So, reason number 1, having a solid game plan. When you play Dragon Ball FighterZ and you're learning your teams, you're learning your characters, you're learning your combos and whatnot, it's gonna come to a point where you have to start learning your game plan and how to approach to winning the game with your team. Your game plan is gonna consist of a win condition. What is a win condition, you ask? It's simply a goal, an objective, a condition that you have to fulfill in order to win with your team. So, a good example of a win condition is one of Nokami's older teams, which was Android 18, Android 21, and Z Broly. One of my personal favorites of mine, actually. I thought that team was pretty unique. I wish he still played it. But anyway, besides that. So, Kami's game plan with that team was to wear you down with Android 18. And by the time Z Broly comes in, the opposing team would either have lost 2 of their characters, or maybe they have all 3 of their characters still, but they're all lacking a lot on life. And by the time Z Broly comes in with full spark, he pretty much just wraps up the game with Z Broly, because, like he often says, it can happen to you, and it can happen in an instant. So that's just one of the main examples of a team with a solid game plan. It was very simple yet really effective, because it took away one of your defensive options, which was Spark, very early on. There's plenty of other teams with different game plans and different win conditions. It's up to you as a player to figure out what is your game plan and what is your win condition. If you need any help, I would suggest watching a lot of other players, different teams, sort of figure out why their teams are constructed the way they are, how they are winning with their teams, what patterns do you see when they play, and just try to take notice of just little things and sort of apply it to your own game. So with that being said, let's move on to reason number 2. Reason number 2, matchup knowledge. Quite possibly one of the most important things to learn when playing fighting games and reaching the next level of higher level play. Matchups are something that you have to take the time and dig deep and learn. It's not one of those things that you can sort of breeze by or sort of brush aside and hope that you can still win a lot of games. It's not going to happen. You have to do your due diligence and learn character-specific matchups. One example I like to point out in learning matchups is Z Broly, who is a very popular character right now, who's running amok and destroying everybody. But one of the things that a lot of players are not taking advantage of the fact that his 236S, which is his eraser blow, if he throws that out, and you have meter, you can punish that for free. One example is what I did when I was playing against Z-Bro is where I would sell, and he was, doing his, usual key blast, and then he threw the eraser blow. And then me, knowing the fact that I can punish that and he can't vanish because it's not with cancelable, I level 3 with sell and reaction and punished him for it. So that's just one example of having, good matchup knowledge. Knowing those little tidbits when playing against your opponent can stop them from getting away with things that they shouldn't be able to get away with. Reason number 3, having situational awareness. Having situational awareness is very important when playing Dragon Ball Fighters and playing fighting games in general. And having situational awareness means that you, as a player, is always aware of your options and the opponent options at any given moment, and then choosing the correct option to put yourself in a favorable position. So, situational awareness can be as simple as knowing when to challenge your opponent during their block screens. It can be as simple as knowing that your opponent is super dash you a lot, or just charging at you in general a lot. It can be as simple as knowing that your opponent is playing very defensive and figuring out how to get around that and how to approach them. Situational awareness is something that you won't come up by quickly. It's something that you need to have a lot of experience with. And by having a lot of experience means that you have to play a lot of games with a lot of other players. So when you're playing against other players, become more aware of the things that's happening in the match, and then taking those moments in those games and recreate them in training mode. Lab it up, figure out what's the best option in that given moment, and then choosing and learning to apply that option in real matches with other opponents. Reason number 4. Reason number 4. Over-reliance on system mechanics. When you reach that upper echelon that I keep mentioning in this goddamn video, it's going to come to a point where that 6M assist isn't going to cut it anymore. It's going to come to a point where super dashing every 5 seconds isn't going to cut it anymore. You have to learn to not let system mechanics baby you when playing Dragon Ball Fighters, because an over-reliance on system mechanics can be your crutch, and it can be your downfall when playing against a top-level player. So instead of super dashing with your face a lot, maybe walking back and forth, filling out the match, filling out your opponent, waiting on what they're gonna do, maybe trying to bait their super dash, will be a lot better than being over antsy and super dashing because you just want to get in so bad. Instead of 6M assists, you can actually go in training mode and probably learn some actual better mix-ups with your team, or some better Oki setups with your team, to open your opponent up. There's a lot of ways you can train yourself to not rely on system mechanics so much. But like I pointed out in previous reasons, that comes with training yourself, going to the lab, and playing against people a lot, sort of break out of that bad habit. I think you're probably gonna have to wait until you play that guy, you play that player that really exposes you for being over-reliant on system mechanics. You're gonna play against that player that's gonna block every 6M assist that you attempt. You're gonna play against that player that's gonna challenge not only your super dash on the ground, but they're gonna challenge you in the air with a 5L or a well-timed 5L. So once you play against those kind of players, you're gonna start to open your eyes up to more possibilities and to become a better player. So with that being said, learn the game, learn how to play the game without being babied by the game, pretty much. So reason number 5, and this is arguably the most important reason on this list. Reason number 5 is having lack of self-awareness. So as opposed to having situational awareness, lack of self-awareness has nothing to do with the game. It has something to do with you as the player. And this is pretty much the part where, when I say early in the video, this applies to pretty much all fighting games. This is that reason. In order to improve as a player, in order to improve as a person, you have to be self-aware. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? Why am I getting hit there? Why am I losing so much? What can I do better to win? And a lot of times, especially if you're starting out and you're still learning, you're brand new to fighting games, that reason isn't gonna come to you right away. That solution may come to you after over 1,000 games of just getting your ass tossed around and mollywopped and pretty much just curb stomped by some amazing players. That reason may not come to you until you go into training mode. You try to lab your matchups. You try to figure out how to become more situationally aware. You try to figure out how to have better mix-ups, and then you go back into ranked, or you go back to your local scene, and you still lose, and you still have that taste of defeat just lingering in your mouth. It's that part of fighting games. It's the hardest part of fighting games. And it's the part where most people it's the part that turns off most people away from fighting games. Is be able to look at yourself. Because looking at yourself isn't always the easiest. But part of having self-awareness is also having a drive to get better. And people who are eager to improve, eager to learn, will more likely have a better time becoming more self-aware in the future as they go on, you know? So what I suggest for you is, if you're that person struggling in living legend rank, or you're still a green square and you're getting mopped out by some yellow squares. I don't know. I forgot how the square system even worked. Like, I stopped caring about online a long time ago. But if you're that player struggling online, offline, wherever it may be, take the time to reflect. Start watching your matches over. Start looking over things that you did wrong. Start taking advice. Join discords. Join communities. You know, get on Twitter. Talk with people. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can approach to becoming more self-aware and figuring out your problems. You know, people can help you with that. People can point out things that you may not see, and then once you start seeing things for yourself, things get easier for you. You know. And I don't want to ramble on for too long, because this is something that that I'm pretty good at, but at one point in life was pretty bad at, you know. So with all that said, be patient with yourself. It's not gonna come easy. You're gonna take a lot of losses, but if you stick with it, keep improving, you keep applying the things that you learn from the losses, eventually those L's will turn into W's. And I think that's really important. I think that's what separates an average player from a good player. So with that being said, guys, if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any of your own points that you feel like I could have touched on, or maybe some points you thought were missing from the video, please feel free to add those points below. If you see people having questions and I'm not answering them right away, and if you feel the need to help people in the comment section below, feel free to answer those questions, help each other improve. I encourage you. I want people to get better, so I can stop playing against Point Goku Black players who mash auto combo or at round start. But besides that, once again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it's your boy Disco Wonderland, and I'll see you guys in the next video.